through very quickly. Okay, problem 1. Suppose that the limit of px, okay, suppose that the limit of px is 4 when x is approaching 1. Okay, limit of qx, it is pi when x is approaching 1. And the limit of rx, okay, the limit of rx when x is approaching 1, it is 3. Okay, determine each of the following limits and justify each step by indicating the appropriate limit laws. Right, so for the first one, it's a limit x is approaching 1, so you have pi px, okay, plus qx, okay, minus qrx, right? So what is qrx? Qrx is just qx times rx, okay? So the first step, because it's the sum or difference, right? So you can split them. So it's a limit of pi px plus the limit of qx plus, right, minus the limit of qx times rx. Okay, so this is a limit law for addition or subtraction. Right, then for the constant, right, you can always just move the constant out. So here pi px, so it's just pi times limit px. Okay, here limit qx is just pi. You can write down the solution here. Limit qx times rx. So here, because you know both limits of qx exist, right? Both limits of qx and limit of rx, they both exist, right? When both limits exist, then you can split them. So it's a limit of qx times the limit of rx. Okay, so here it's a limit loss for product. Okay, this is a limit loss for product. And here it's pi times the limit of px, which is 4, right? Plus pi minus the limit of qx times the limit of rx minus pi times 3. So it's 5 pi minus 3 pi. It's just 2 pi. Okay. It is just 2 pi. So the second question, limit px plus qx over rx. Okay, so first, again, for the quotient law, again, you want to make sure both limits exist. Okay, both limits exist. Then you can split them. Okay, so it's equal to limit of px plus qx when x is approaching 1 over the limit of rx. Okay, over the limit of rx. So this is the quotient, right? The limit law for quotient. And then the top and bottom, right, you can write down. So here at the top, you can use a limit law of addition. Right? So it's a limit of px when x is approaching 1 plus limit of qx when x is approaching 1. Okay, and over limit of rx. Limit of rx is just 3, right? Limit of rx is just 3. So here is a limit law for addition or subtraction, right? And then the last step, you just need to sub in. Limit of px is 4, limit of qx is pi over 3. Okay, so this will be question 1.